Hey, it's Dan with the Realty Edge team, eXp Realty, giving you your market report. And so we are on May 2025. So let's take a look at kind of what happened from last month here. We're up, currently there's like 278 pending sales. Last month was 220. So we're kind of getting to that normal point of our spring market. The average, like where supply is meeting demand, has increased a little bit. Last month was right just past that 350 mark. Currently right now it's just a smidge past the 400K. So that's where supply is meeting demand. Obviously the lower end's still very high demand and low properties for sale, and then it kind of tapers off. Things are starting to balance off a little bit. It's still a seller's market, but we're kind of right there at that 400,000. That's kind of where everything's meeting up. As you start to taper off to the basically about the 600, we see a bigger gap. There's more inventory at 600 than there is demand for currently. We'll kind of see how that goes, but there is still a lot of buyers out there looking for things. Part of that is some people are holding back a little bit on the interest rate. Interest rates will be going down, but they've kind of been hopping around a little bit. And I know it's really tough for a lot of people to sell their house if they're sitting at 3.75 and they're jumping up to 6.5. So rates are still about 6.5 right now. So the market's currently active. To kind of go through some more stuff versus last year, like I just said about the 400, that 400 to 600 price range is the largest amount of inventory, and there's a lot more demand at the 400. It's like matched right at market, and then as it gets closer to that 600, we see the deviation. What does that mean? Well, that means that we're kind of seeing our prices go up. The average is 582, but we're just gaining more inventory at that 600 mark than we are for the demand. But the 400 is pretty hot. We do have a lot more inventory at that 1.4 million. They are also selling very quick. Again, take that in consideration. A lot of that stuff is new construction. People are getting to build what they want, or as they're getting built, they're getting sold really quick. List to sale ratio, again, that is when the market says we listed the property this price and this is what it actually sells for. That ratio, how close it is. We're still mostly at 100%, 101% in that 200 to 400. But right around that 400 mark is about the 100. You start to get a little bit above that 456 or 450 to 500. You start to get to 99%. When you get to 6, then you're looking at 98. And that kind of is based on the average. So it just depends on the house and the neighborhood. So it is a little bit more of a buyer's market in that 600 to 700,000. But really the hot market right now, typical for this time of year, is we're in May, and a lot of that stuff at that 400 price point, 4 to 5, is pretty hot. So it's a good time for sellers. Buyers, the inventory has a lot more than it was 2 months ago, but now we do have the demand is coming out and is starting to purchase those, where maybe a month or two ago we were holding back based on interest rates. So pretty active market in Rochester right now. Again, Dan Kingsley with the Realty Edge team. That's your market update for May 2025. If you got any questions, we'd love to help you out. We can get you more details on your specific Rochester neighborhood and or any small surrounding towns, Zumbrota, Pine Island, Mazeppa, Byron, Casson, anything you want, we can dial in tight for you if it's something you're interested in, or if you're thinking about putting your house on the market. We'd love to help out any way we can. Take care.